In today's reaction, I've had this recommended to me on my YouTube, and it's TikTokers who have captured their final moments. And I want to know if this is a load of baloney, or if they really have captured their final moments. I'm intrigued. Anyway, let's check it out. Okay, so did these TikTokers really capture their final moments? I'm a little bit skeptical from the front of this because it says 1985 on this first one. There was no TikTok in 1985. What's going on? This can't be a TikToker. Right, okay. Let's get it underway. TikTokers final moments. Felicia Kononchuk. Chubby Goes to Africa. Harrison Gilks and Inquisitor 3. E3. Right, okay. Are these the people who's died then? Okay.
On February 17th of 2021, a little girl by the name Felicia Kononchuk would post a message to her TikTok profile.
I don't like it when it's little girls. I don't like it when it's kids. I don't like it. It's not good.
Typically, she would post fun, child-related content to her small following. However, that day, her post couldn't be any more harrowing and serious.
Привет, у меня сейчас жесть история. У нас там сосед, он пьяный. Он, короче, стучится на дверь, всю ломает нафиг. Он уже несколько минут здесь стоит, стучится, орёт, матерится. Я просто вне страшно.
On a day when her father left to visit the local shops, their neighbor began to knock on the door. Felicia, being alone with their youngest brother, refused to answer. However, the knocks were persistent and aggressive. The only thing she thought to do was to post to TikTok to hopefully spread awareness of the situation and potentially get help if needed.
Why didn't she use a phone and ring her dad? Instead of using the phone for TikTok, why didn't she ring her dad? It's 2021, everyone's got a mobile.
Potentially get help if needed. Felicia would then go on to say that these knocks continued for over an hour. It should also be noted that maintenance men were working on the home during this interaction. However, they ignored the knocks as they felt it wasn't their business to address a visitor.
Right.
Why Felicia didn't bring her worries to them, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Scream out the window, help.
Soon, the knocks would stop, and Felicia would get a message from her friend asking if she wanted to go to the park in hopes of feeling safe with fellow company.
Right.
Relieved, she quickly said yes and waited for her friend. During this time, Felicia's father would arrive home, and after hearing a soft knock on the door, Felicia would answer, only to be greeted in fear by the neighbor.
Hang on. A father would come back only to be greeted by a knock on the door by a neighbor.
Felicia's father would arrive home, and after hearing a soft knock on the door, Felicia would answer, only to be greeted in fear by the neighbor.
Right.
In a swift attempt to close the door, Felicia was shot numerous times. Her father quickly ran to his daughter's side, and after screaming at the maintenance worker to call for help, listened to his daughter's final words. "Dad, I have been killed." The neighbor in question was a 33-year-old man named Vasily Donets. According to Felicia's father, the two were typically in good standings. However, recent arguments regarding noise complaints left their relationship tense. This was likely the catalyst for Vasily's torment on the children that day, and the reason for Felicia's demise. This shooting occurred only 15 minutes after she posted her last TikTok.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking, that. I mean, look how young she was. I struggle with stories like this. I don't like it. But why? Why shoot? Oh my God. Even if it was a noise complaint, it's a noise complaint. My God. Some people are messed up.
The 22-year-old Gan Suzhang lived the dream that many aspire, to be a social media influencer. At first, he simply would document his experiences in different parts of the world, capturing different cultures and fascinating customs. These videos would solely be for his own collection, however this would soon change. His worldwide adventure would be halted once he landed in Africa, not because of any financial or technical issue, but because he fell in love with the continent.
Okay.
He bonded with the locals and found immense joy in immersing himself in their livelihood. He soon found a girlfriend, and after capturing some videos of the local food, had an idea. What if he posted all these videos to social media? Gan created a TikTok account called Chubby Goes to Africa, where him and his girlfriend would travel across Africa to try different foods and talk with locals in the area.
Okay.
The idea was an immediate success, and it wasn't long before his account would take off. Soon he built a social media team and enjoyed the lifestyle of traveling across Africa to an audience of about 5 million people.
Like a dream job, that, isn't it? Traveling around a country that you love. And then, you know, everyone likes to watch your videos.
Style of traveling across Africa to an audience of about 5 million people. With this type of fame comes those who follow. Some of Gan's fans would become friends and join Gan in his adventure across the continent. They would each develop their own social media following because of this, and for the most part, every team member was more than happy with this sporadic fame. All except for one. 32-year-old Feng Zhangyang was a member of this content group. He was friends with everybody, however his personality didn't quite mesh well with the others.
Right.
Gan was typically known to be a very charismatic, comfortable person to be around. Part of this is likely to influence his success, however Feng was quite the opposite. People have been found noting that interacting with Feng was often awkward, making them uncomfortable when creating content for TikTok. Despite this though, Gan still encouraged Feng to continue. However, as tensions between the group rose, Feng was unfortunately let go. While you might think
it's going to be a thingy, isn't it? It's going to be a revenge. Good night, firefighter chick. It's gonna be a revenge thing, this, isn't it? For letting him go, for kicking him out the loop, if you like. Well, he shouldn't be so damn awkward.
Between the group rose, Feng was unfortunately let go. While you might think that this would cause an altercation between the two, Feng was surprisingly understanding. He departed from the group and continued to make content on his own, showing moderate success and traveling across the world in a similar fashion as Gan.
Okay.
Everyone's relationship seemed beautiful. However, it wouldn't be long before tensions would rise once again. According to Feng, when Gan was traveling to China to visit family, he gave Gan roughly $1,500 to purchase him an iPhone, as doing so in Africa was impossible. Gan agreed, however after returning, no iPhone was bought and the money Feng sent him was not returned. There is no confirmation to the legitimacy of this story, however Gan would choose not to address the situation. Feng would continue to make claims against Gan and his team, saying that they sent virus-infested meals to his home and...
So it's a bit of a he said, she said type thing. He said type of things. Now it's going to escalate, obviously, to sending virus-infested meals and destroying property and stuff. Egos, man. Egos.
Against Gan and his team, saying that they sent virus-infested meals to his home and destroyed property that Feng owned. I initially wanted to believe Gan, as there was no evidence to back Feng's claims. However, on a trip to Nepal, Feng's hometown, Gan made a comment saying, "I've come to beat him up."
Oh, God.
During the trip to Nepal on December 4th of 2022,
Recent,
Gan would go live one last time, where he traveled through the streets of Nepal, unknowing what lurked within the shadows.
欧莱雅的欧不是在前面，为啥他的来在前面？网红酸奶吗？哪里有网红酸奶？这个好喝吗？我也不知道。就在前面。
Merely a second after this moment, Screams can be heard. Fang would sneak up behind Gon and stab him numerous times in the back and stomach. Slain in the middle of Nepal's streets, Fang wouldn't flee the scene, but would instead stay by Gon's dying body and scold him. He wanted to ensure that in Gon's final moments, he would know who had won. In the days that followed, Fang would be arrested by the authorities and taken into custody following the murder.
Ooh, that was ruthless. And again, cold. Because not only did he just surprise attack him, he stabbed him numerous times and then stood over him while he died, looking at him just to make sure that he knew when he was dying that it was him who killed him. Exactly, Johnny. 1,500 quid for an iPhone. I expect it to fly me to a country for that price. But I mean, wow. The lengths people go to over a bit of like tit for tat arguing. Crazy, man. Crazy. Next one's called Harrison Gilks.
Harrison Gilks, a Canadian teenager, got diagnosed with a rare cancer known as rhabdomyosarcoma at only the young age of 16. It wasn't until 2 years later that he would find out his cancer was terminal. However, instead of wasting his final years depressed and alone, he decided to do something inspiring.
I'd like to make a little series called maybe like bucket list series. I'm gonna go out and do a bunch of stuff that I've always wanted to do. You know, I'm not sure what yet. You know, maybe skydiving or, you know, just stuff along those lines.
It's mad that, isn't it? Because he looks so healthy there, doesn't he? Wow. Oh, so young as well, 16 years old. That's heartbreaking.
You know, maybe skydiving or, you know, just stuff along those lines.
Harrison posted a TikTok about his cancer and his dreams of completing as many bucket list activities as he could in the little time he had left. This TikTok grew exponentially fast and kickstarted the overwhelming support behind his goal of making his last years some of his best. Thanks to many donations, Harrison quickly began going on many adventures, both on the ground and in the sky. During this time, he would update his fans on his health and even express some encouraging news, stating that the tumors in his lungs and prostate stopped growing.
I also scanned where the big tumor in my prostate stopped growing for now, and the ones in my lungs have only grown a little bit.
He continued to gather more life experiences, and his audience watched the date as Harrison's 18th birthday was approaching. This milestone would be monumental. Harrison was able to see his 18th birthday. However, on October 21st, the day he turned 18, social media heard nothing. People understood that this must be a very special and sensitive moment. However, they began to get a little concerned when no update was posted throughout the following weeks. Harrison pretty much went MIA for an entire month until November 17th, when he returned to TikTok with some unfortunate news.
So the chemo I did all summer, it didn't really work. Tumor kept progressing, and it's gotten a little bigger, and it spread to my hip too.
The cancer wasn't looking good. It was growing and, even worse, spreading. The clock was ticking, and Harrison gave his final push towards his bucket list. In the next 3 months, Harrison would travel all across the globe, enjoying tours of the mountain peaks to the beaches of Cancun. He spent quality time with his family, his friends, and even got to meet multiple members of his favorite hockey team. Harrison is one of the purest reminders I've seen.
Such a sad story, this, isn't it? I mean, kudos for him to you know, get off his ass and do these things, even though like he's you know, suffering what he's suffering with. The mental strength of this guy must have been amazing.
Members of his favorite hockey team. Harrison is one of the purest reminders I've seen to keep your head high and live life to its fullest. On March 22nd of 2023, Harrison would take to TikTok one last time. This was his final message.
Chances of me going home, very slim. So I'll be in the hospital for probably the remainder of whatever time I got left.
Wow.
Pray for me and my family.
How thin he is as well.
It's been a great ride with you guys on the bucket list. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support throughout everything. Bucket list complete.
Harrison would pass shortly after this.
Oh, that's sad, isn't it? It's a very, very... that was not a very good story. Well, it was a good story in the way it was done and this, that, and the other. It's heartbreaking because someone's so young. You normally associate that sort of crap happening to people who were older, who's had the life, who's seen things, who's done things. I mean, 18, 19 years old. Wow. Inquisitor 3 is the next one.
Inquisitor is just as tragic as any other entry in this list.
Right.
Unlike the others, however, it's not a display of unfortunate circumstance, nor a crossfire between two colliding parties.
Okay.
This is an example of how even the best decisions don't guarantee the best life. Inquisitor was a famous TikToker who cosplayed as the character Ghost from the Call of Duty franchise.
Yeah.
In the video game, Ghost is most known for his silent and mysterious persona. However, Inquisitor brought his own character to the man behind the mask. He was easygoing, always positive, and remembered to use his following for good and spread kind messages to those watching.
Why are you so splendid?
Around every edge, Inquisitor just seemed like a good guy. Unfortunately for him, however, he didn't account for the evil that often follows with fame. As his audience grew, Inquisitor decided to hire a female editor to help him develop content to keep up with his newfound success.
Right.
As content began to get pushed out, Inquisitor would continuously compliment the work. He would always mention how it looked fantastic, and would often use the phrase, "I love her."
Okay.
It should be noted that this was said as a friendly gesture, one that he used loose and often with many people. However, in this day and age,
That'll be a bunny boiler, isn't it? It's going to be a classic bunny boiler story. She's going to take it as gospel, and now she's going to go crazy on him.
one that he used loose and often with many people. However, in this day and age, Inquisitor should have watched his words a little more carefully. As it turned out, Inquisitor's editor was underage, and saying phrases such as, "I want to marry her," although in context as a compliment towards her editing work, was something that raised suspicion. Something that caught up to Inquisitor very quickly.
Oh my god. Right. Now we get into the nitty gritty of this one. Is he going to get stoved in by a load of people who disagree with what he said about her for being underage, even if he didn't even mean it to come out that way? Wow. Right. Okay. He should have thought about that before he said it.
That raised suspicion. Something that caught up to Inquisitor very quickly. Another TikTok user by the name Tito is Acting Badly released a statement to his large audience of almost 1 million followers that Inquisitor was grooming his girlfriend, the editor that Inquisitor hired. He used out-of-context chat logs and involved the endearing phrases such as "I love you" to spread a rumor that the 17-year-old girl was being groomed by the man in the mask. People quickly turned against Inquisitor, and his brand of a loving and friendly face was now tarnished.
Absolutely.
In other words, Inquisitor's life as a social media icon was now ruined.
Yeah.
Inquisitor would stop posting for several weeks, until October 9th of 2023, where he would change his profile bio to "I want to die." He would then go live a few hours later, where all you could see was a glass door in an empty room. As the live stream continued, rocks would come flying through as Inquisitor's family began to break into his home. No one knew what was going on. However, after the company entered, they began to perform CPR on a body, and at that moment, everybody knew what happened. Inquisitor took his life just off screen from the live stream.
Wow.
After this, evidence began to surface of the master plan that had been in effect for months. Tito and Inquisitor's editor were trying to frame Inquisitor of being a predator. Chat logs were leaked between Inquisitor and his editor that showed the young woman trying to form a relationship with Inquisitor. However, she was declined numerous times.
Oh my god. This guy literally lived for social media. He was being set up. And they've succeeded in destroying his persona. And he can't live without his social media. Clearly, he's obviously felt so much passion to making content that he felt he couldn't go on without it because he'd been tarnished. And not only that, people are going to be calling him all sorts of names because of this. And if these... Do you know what? He should have posted these instead of doing what he did. He should have posted these.
Trying to form a relationship with Inquisitor. However, she was declined numerous times. At one point, she even lied, stating she wasn't a minor. However, Inquisitor still asked for her to kindly stop talking to him. Chat logs between Tito and the editor even leaked, showing proof that they were trying to gather evidence to tarnish Inquisitor's reputation. Every accusation was a lie, and the world found out about it just when it was too late. Inquisitor was a loving friend that shared his personality to the internet. He spread positive messages and advice to anyone who needed it. He was a good person, someone who found himself in the crosshairs of a malicious evil. Although gone too soon,
that's a sad story.
I'm glad the truth came out, as Inquisitor can now be remembered as the great person he was, and not for the predator.
He should be still here making content, shouldn't he?
May everyone on this list rest in peace.
Wow. Quite a big, massive roller coaster of different scenarios there. Obviously, the saddest one is the cancer story. That was, that'll touch a lot of people who watched that video. But I mean, the sad story in that like Inquisitor one is obviously the fact that he was innocent, didn't do nothing. He's actually refused this lady so many times. I hope them other people who set him up got named and shamed and berated, and let's hope they're still getting named and shamed and berated for doing that sort of thing to another human being, especially one whose persona was used for like spreading so much good, as it was being portrayed in that video. Obviously, the video said that spent his time spreading positivity and stuff. Wow, crazy. Some crazy stories there. Oh my god. I feel a little bit affected by this video. Anyway, what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And if you like my videos, then please hit like and subscribe. And I shall see you all in the next video.